Hey guys, here's my 10 cards, 1 kit video for the Love from Lizi April kit. Here are my card bases already cut out. 2 A2 size, 5.5 by 4.25, and they are all top folding cards. But you can also flip it on the side and kind of make a fun side folding card. But 9 out of the 10 cards, I do stick to the top folding style. And all those pieces of cardstock did come in the kit. So jumping into card 1, to make this video not so long if you're new, I pre-cut everything for these particular videos because they can get pretty lengthy in time. And then I just show you basically me putting the card together. This kit is sold out, but you can go on Lizi's website and subscribe to future kits or stay tuned for her May kit that will be coming out. I definitely would suggest following her on Instagram, if anything, if that's the only thing you do, only because she starts her sneak peeks. And that way you know when the new kits are coming out. I like Instagram better than Facebook because I feel like Facebook, a lot of things you don't see. And Instagram can be that way sometimes too, but I think Instagram's a little bit more easier to navigate. Definitely, though, I recommend joining Lizi's Facebook group. But anyway, so this kit came with some ephemera, and I use it throughout the kit. It's just brilliant. I just love it. So that first card, I had used some, and then I added some sequins to the kit. I mean the card. So for this card, I'm bringing in this thread. It's a gold shiny thread, basically. And I'm just kind of creating, I think they call this a bird's nest. I don't even know. But just kind of wrapping it around a couple fingers and then slapping it on some tape in the center. And making sure to get those end pieces in the tape area so they do not show. And then I am going to adhere this piece of ephemera in the center. And then I used a scallop rectangle die to cut out that white piece of cardstock. And I know if you had catched Lizi's 10 cards, 1 kit, she had talked about the sentiments. And it's funny because that even crossed my mind while I was working on the sentiments. Use foam tape, foam dots to pop these little pieces up. But the sentiments are very I am. And you know, when you hand out a card, you don't necessarily have a sentiment that says I am. And what she said is exactly what I thought, that whoever you're giving this to, it's more of a statement about them. I am, you know, for example, I am fabulous or whatever. It's just something for them that they could read and have encouragement on and whatever. So that was kind of my thought process in some of these cards. The kit did come with a stamp set, and it's a sentiment stamp set, buildable, so it did have a UR. So I did on this one stamp the UR, and then these other little strips came from one of the pieces of pattern paper, and I just cut it out of the pattern paper and kind of built this sentiment piece. I like the end, you are enough. So this, I think this is a great encouragement card to someone that needs some encouragement. I take these little burlap flowers and go ahead and add them just to give the card some dimension since it is a little bit flat. And that completes card 3. Card 4, I'm taking again this piece of pattern paper, and I'm wrapping around some ribbon that came in the kit. And this is how I kind of cheat at tying bows. I never wrap something around and tie a bow unless it's twine. For ribbon, I wrap it around the piece of paper I want it to go around, and then I tie a bow and attach it to a piece of the ribbon. So it does kind of appear as if I tied the bow. It's all one piece, but it is not. So I took this piece of pattern paper, again, adhered it with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'm going to adhere this piece of ephemera that came in the kit. It says, I'm not perfect, but I am perfect me. I'm the perfect me. So again, if you're giving someone this card and they just need that encouragement to read it once in a while, I think this is perfect. Go ahead and I tied a bow with the same ribbon, and then I'm using these glue dots to adhere the bow. I've gotten so many questions about these glue dots on this sheet. They are from a paper pumpkin kit, and I have a ton left over, and I don't like them. I'm not a fan of them. I prefer glue dots on a roll, so I'm trying to use them up. So I don't know where you would purchase them separately if you wanted them. If anybody knows, comment down below if anyone's interested, but I have no idea. So I go ahead and adhere this piece of paper. I stamped out "You Are Beautiful" and cut it out with a circle die. And I just take a little strip of the burlap, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment to this piece of burlap. This card is one of my favorite cards that came together. It was one of those things where I was just kind of throwing things at it and putting it here. Or I'm going to put this here, and oh, here's a tag. I'm going to stick it here. I just love that look of a card, and when the times I've done it, it's just perfect. And when you get packs of ephemera and stuff like that, it's really easy to do that. I don't know. I have a couple haul videos that are going to go up, and that's a whole nother story in itself. It's a huge haul. It'll probably be, well, definitely will be 2 videos, but it may be 3 of different paper collections I purchased and ephemera. And over the summer, I'm going to be doing a series of videos using all those paper packs and ephemera and stickers and all that. So stay tuned for that. But if the haul video is not up by the time this goes up, stay tuned. They will be coming soon. If you follow my community tab, I had posted asking if people would be interested in that, and I got a good response. So we shall see. Anyway, so I went ahead and added that little tag. I tied a bow, added a little bow on top, so it appeared that the tag had a little bow tied to it. And then I'm adding more of these burlap stickers. The butterfly, I kind of popped up the wings and just adhered the center to the card. And then here I'm adding those Nuvo drops that came in the kit. And the Nuvo drops have a light blue color to them, but they do dry clear. But you do see a light blue tint. It's very subtle. And that will complete that card. So for card 6, I really like this piece of paper with the 3 butterflies. And it says, "I'm my own kind of beautiful." And this is a very simple card. So I wanted to add that piece of floral paper to the side, just to give it a little bit of interest. And then I trimmed it up, and then I'm going to add some of the peel-offs, a peel-off. These peel-offs are clear, but they have a translucent sheen to them, so they have that glitter that kind of sparkles in all different colors. But being that they're clear as well, you get the color of the paper you stick it to shining through. So really pretty. Go ahead and adhere that down, and that will complete this card. You can trim up the peel-offs. You don't have to wrap them around behind the paper. And, of course, save the smaller pieces. They do come in handy sometimes, but I just wrapped it around. I have so many peel-offs. I will never use them in a lifetime, so I'm not as stingy with them. Go ahead and adhere my pattern paper, floral, and then I had this lined paper. It reminds me of a kind of a, well, it reminds me of a library card back in the day that would go back in the book and they would stamp it with the due date, but or a roster, a ledger, whatever. But anyway, I take this blue wood chip sentiment hello, adhere that down with some glue, clear glue, and then I go ahead and adhere my butterfly using glue dots. The hello does overhang a little bit of the card base. I think it'll be okay in a regular A2 size envelope, but worst case, I'll just put it in a little bit bigger of an envelope. I went ahead and put glue dots kind of sporadically around the card, and here I am just popping sequins on them to give it a little bit of sparkle. And that will complete card 7. We're moving right along. Card 8, I'm using that same kind of ledger paper and then adhering this floral piece to kind of split it up a little. This card I like too. This kit, and I add some of the peel-offs. This kit came with so much. Lizzie's kits always come with a ton of stuff, but I felt like with this kit I felt like I had more left over than I usually do. This kit came with a 12 by 12 sticker sheet that I wanted to use so bad, but it just opportunity never came up in these 10 cards. So I have that all left over. There are two 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock that came in the kit that have a bunch of panels on them. I had a lot of that left over. And I felt like my cards were really, like, this is at least in a while that I've liked all 10 cards for the most part. So I have a ton of product left over. This piece, Tasting the Sweet Life, is actually one of the pieces from one of the 12 by 12 panels. So I cut that out and adhered that. I thought that was a pretty panel, and I really wanted to use it on a card. So here I'm tying a bow again, and I'm doubling up on the ribbon and having struggles. So I kind of, in a moment here, I will move on. I will not let you sit through this, make you sit through this. So get my bow tied, I kind of straighten it up and fix it and fix the tails. And then I go ahead and add some of those glue dots to adhere the bow. Glue dots, to me, I have the best luck with adhering bows and sequins. So that's what I use. I know some people use multimedia matte or glossy accents. And I'm sure that's fine. I have the best luck with glue dots, so that's what I stick to. So again, I am adhering some sequins about the card just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And the sequins are full of static, so I always struggle with them sticking to my hand. And that will complete card 8. For card 9, oh, this one I love too. It was a panel that had a jar of flowers, and I really wanted to use it, but I was trying really hard to think of a way to use it without just slapping it on a card panel and then being done, which you can totally do, but I don't feel like that's very creative. I don't even know if I want to say that. It's just, for video's sake, I didn't feel like it was video worthy, just taking a panel, slapping it on a card and saying, there you go, there's a card. But you could totally do that. So I had these 2 striped pieces of pattern paper that I really loved, and I put those on the edge to the border, to the right and left. And then I trimmed down this jar panel with the flowers and put that in the center. And then I added these peel-offs to give it some sparkle, and I put it on the border where the 2 pieces of cardstock meet, which I do quite often. I just like the way that looks. I feel like it finishes it off. That's my favorite thing about the peel-offs, is that you could do this. And then I go ahead and take a piece of, or a strip of ribbon, and I just pop a piece down there as if the ribbon was tied around the jar. It's not perfect, but it's fine. And then I tie a bow, and then I'm going to put a bow on the jar so it looks like the ribbon is again tied around the jar in a bow. So that gives some dimension. And then I take this butterfly and I put a butterfly near the flowers. And then I go ahead and bring in my clear Spectrum Noir clear glitter overlay pen and add some sparkle to the flowers and a couple sparkle spots to the butterfly. And then I grabbed the sequins in Lizzie's kit, which are perfect, but I just wanted something different. So I brought in my Pretty Pink Posh sparkling clear sequins, I think is what they're technically called. I call them clear sparkling sequins. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Because these sequins are just amazing. They're my favorite, and I wanted something that was one color and really sparkly. And I just put those around the jar. So that is definitely one of my favorite cards. I love that card. So here, this card was kind of a disaster in the making, but I think overall it turned out okay. So I take these 2 doily pieces from my stash, a doily, I cut it apart, whatever. I end up ripping half of it, like you see. And I put them in the corner, And then I go ahead and add some pattern paper, but the one on the bottom is not right. I adhered it wrong, so I have to end up tearing that up and redoing it. And I realize it at this point, but I'm like, I'm just going to wait and see. And I go ahead and adhere my pattern paper. Then I add some more of these peel-offs. Again, I add a couple to each side, the top and bottom, just to make it a little bit different than what I've been doing. And then I will trim off the edges. And then once I trim off the edges, I then will cut that doily at the bottom off. Or cut it out, rip it out, and then adhere another one in there underneath to kind of fix it, because obviously it doesn't look right. So here I am kind of gently ripping it up, shoving that one in there, adhering it down. Off camera, I take my glue dots and kind of fix everything, clean it up a little. And then I take this camera, which I cut out of a piece of the pattern paper. I just fussy cut it out. And then I take the smile, which I thought, oh, this is perfect. Goes with the camera. And I just add some glue to the smile, kind of adhere that a little bit wonky. And then I go ahead and I had this bird die cut out, and I added the bird. So here are the leftover products. I just realized I am missing one thing, the bird embossing folder, the huge one that came in the kit. In the process of making my 10 cards one kit, that fell behind my desk. And that's where it will stay until I move my desk to get it. So it's back there. I didn't use it because it fell like on my second card, and then I forgot about it. So sorry about that if you were looking for some inspiration with the embossing folder, but here are the still shots of the cards. I will include Lizi's information below, as well as her store link if you're interested in just going and taking a look. I forgot to mention for my unboxing, if you subscribe to her kits and you come up with you sign up for an account, you subscribe, when the kits come out, you can add other products, add-ons and other products, and the shipping does not change. The shipping is flat rate. What you pay for your kit is all you pay. So it's really a great deal. I know Lizi was excited to offer her subscribers to that. It's an awesome incentive. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. Let me know what your favorite card was. And if you have any questions about the supplies I used, I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.